Then you're aware of what you've done and the consequences.
Oh, it's too early for consequences. May I see it?
The senator phoned from Washington. We can expect him here by tonight.
Indeed we can. Well, I'm not going anyplace.
How could you have spent $10 million without anyone knowing about it?
Who says I spent it?
The paper says you did.
Oh, what do they know? I didn't spend it. I couldn't. I hid it.
You hid it?
In nice $500,000 negotiable bonds that can't be traced.
Why?
I don't ask you what you do with your money, Doctor.
I'm sorry this has happened, Mrs. Savage. I'm afraid your hidden treasure is going to prove a great disadvantage to you.
That's because you're a doctor, and doctors never know the value of money.
Would you like to know how long it would take me to make that much money, Mrs. Savage?
Oh, excuse me. Fairy May wants music while she plants her seeds.
Oh, just a moment, Hannibal. You are a statistician. How long would it take the average doctor to earn $10 million?
Well, he'd have to start before Christ was born. And work right through the burning of Rome up to the burning of St. Joan and Savonarola. With time out, of course, for the Norman Conquest, the Crusades, the 100 Years' War, the 30 Years' War, and the 7 Years' War. So he'd have to work double time through the discovery of America up to penicillin and bubblegum. But that's without deducting federal tax, state tax, city tax, school tax, luxury tax, and my personal favorite, amusement tax. You'd add about 100 years for that.
Thank you, Hannibal. It's a great deal to be responsible for, Mrs. Savage.
Now, what's the doctor up to?
A bit of emotional blackmail, I suspect. Hannibal, would you guess to look at me that I'm worth $10 million on the hoof?
Never. The human body has only 20 cents worth of phosphorus in it, 5 cents worth of iodine, and 20 cents worth of calcium. Even at present high prices, nobody is worth over $1.50.
So you only value me at $1.50?
Never. You said worth. Your value is inestimable.
Hannibal, I like you. I like you very much. You make me feel important. You make me feel like dancing.
Splendid. What shall it be?
Anything.
I'm very good at the flight of the bumblebee.
Could anything be more appropriate? The bees come home to find the honey gone. Someone is going to be stung. Play, Hannibal.
Are you reading?
Yes, dear.
Is it interesting?
Very.
I'm not disturbing you, am I?
Now, whatever would make you think that? What's the matter, Fairy May?
It's just that no one has said they love me this livelong day.
Why, yes, they have, Fairy.
No, they haven't. I've been waiting.
I heard Florence say it at the dinner table.
Did she?
Did I? She said, "Don't eat too fast, Fairy."
Was that her telling me she loved me?
Of course. People say it when they say, "Take an umbrella, it's raining," or "Hurry back," or even "Watch out, you'll break your neck." There are hundreds of ways of wording it. You just have to listen for it, my dear.
My dentist said I have perfect occlusion. Was that him telling me he loved me?
What else? Why, the very first day I met my husband, I was riding horseback, you see, and he told me I had a good seat. I knew immediately he loved me.
Oh, thank you. I've been missing out on so much. Oh, my dentist loves me.
Now, what else would you like for me to clear up for you?
Nothing. I'm sorry I disturbed you. Thank you and forgive me.
Mrs. Savage,
Yes?
I'm keeping score and the boys won't help me. What's 7 and 5 and 4?
49.
Mrs. Savage.
It's my own system, Hannibal. I refuse to submit to the tyranny of mathematics.
Then I win.
I'll keep score next time.
Oh, Mrs. Savage,
Yes?
there is one more thing you can clear up for me.
What's that?
Why is it suddenly Sunday again when it was only Sunday yesterday?
Why do you think it's Sunday, Fairy?
Because Sunday is Visitor's Day, and if your family's coming to visit you, it must be Sunday. I guess I had an awfully good time this week.
It isn't Sunday, Fairy. My brood are coming back because they couldn't wait a week.
But that should make you happy.
It should, but it doesn't.
Excuse me, don't you like them?
Oh, not at all.
That's a wicked thing to say.
Well, we have to be wicked once in a while to get God's attention. But if it consoles you, Florence, they were not mine. My husband was left with 3 small children.
But you must have liked them when they were little.
Oh, I wanted to make them my own, desperately. But they always resented me. Why, the very first time I put my arms around Lily Bell, she bit me. And she bit me every day until she was 10.
That must have made you very high-strung.
What stopped her at the exact age of 10?
I suppose at 10 a girl begins to consider her teeth.
But the boys are always so much better.
Not always. They'd been spoiled by money. And whenever I tried to correct them, they'd break something I valued to get even with me. It was a happy day when they went away to school.
School must have taught them something.
Yes, French. After that, whenever they came home, they spoke nothing but French, so I couldn't understand them. And I haven't understood them since.
But you must be very proud of them now. The senator is quite famous, isn't he?
That he is, make no mistake. I'm told he gets more threatening telegrams than any man in Congress. I believe Western Union lists him as a tangible asset.
If he's so unpopular, why do the voters keep sending him back to Washington?
They're no fools. It's the only way to keep him out of the state.
Now, the other son's a judge, isn't he?
That's a distinction.
He's made it one. He has the distinction of having had more of his decisions reversed than any man in jurisprudence.
Is the daughter pretty, Mrs. Savage?
Well, there's a picture of her in the paper. I'll show it to you, and you can judge for yourself.
Oh, don't read us anything out of the newspaper, please.
I won't. I'll just show you her picture.
No, we don't look at pictures either.
People are always pinned under trucks.
I'll peek first, just to make sure it isn't horrible.
Well, even I don't say it's horrible.
Oh, she's a queen! She's wearing a crown!
Oh, a queen.
It's a tiara, Fairy. It's an old picture taken back when she was married to her Slovak prince.
Maybe we should take a quick look, Hannibal. Just to be polite.
Then, she's a princess?
Oh, not at all. She discarded the prince a good 6 husbands ago.
But why?
Hell hath no music like a woman playing second fiddle.
But she kept the tiara?
Indeed she did. I suspect she sleeps in it.
I don't know when I've seen a prettier tiara.
That dress is rather low cut, isn't it?
I don't like her. Let's do something mean to her.
Why, Fairy?
Oh, I don't mean really mean, Florence. Something like putting her picture up on the dartboard and throwing darts at it.
Fairy!
My dear, you're a sweet child. That's exactly what we'll do.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I need exercise, my dear.
Fairy, you're a wicked girl to think up such a thing.
Don't talk to me like that. I'm sensitive.
Oh, leave her alone, Florence. I'm the culprit. Let's see, what can I pin it up with?
Mrs. Patty has some thumbtacks.
Oh, Fairy, I'm so disappointed in you.
I wish I had died in my cradle.
Mrs. Patty, I do believe that's the loveliest seascape I've ever seen. Do you know I can actually smell the ocean? I think your genius lies in your simplicity. You challenge the imagination. May I borrow 4 thumbtacks? Thank you.
This is setting a terrible example for motherhood.
Oh, Florence, do stop worrying. Don't you like surprises?
Yes.
Well, I want to surprise Lily Bell. She is, after all, my daughter. Now, darts. I'll tee off. Target for tonight. Right in the tiara!
Something dreadful's gonna happen, I just know it.
Everybody to the upstairs study. Mrs. Savage's visitors are here.
Oh, please let me stay, Miss Willie. I never get to meet strangers anymore.
I'm sorry, Fairy, but the senator insisted on privacy. Hurry along now.
Someday, when I'm ordered out, I'm going to go without saying a word. I'll have as much pride as anyone. Come, Mrs. Patty.
All the way upstairs now.
How's the weather out there?
Stormy. Here are your visitors, Mrs. Savage. I'll leave the latch off the door and be waiting at the hall desk.
I don't know what to say to you, Mother. For the life of me, I don't know what to say.
Polite people say good evening.
Deception is so unlike you.
I'm not angry. I'm just hurt.
Have you the faintest idea of the enormity of what you've done? You've sold control of 15 Savage Industries.
We will have to sell our stock in Savage Brass just to buy it back.
Oh, didn't you find out? I sold that first.
I mustn't get excited. I mustn't get excited. I get lines.
What else? What else did you dispose of?
Everything in my name.
We're ruined.
Where's the money? You couldn't have spent it.
Please tell us, dear.
I converted it into a nice little bundle of bonds and buried them.
When you say buried, you mean hidden?
I mean buried, as in funeral.
In the ground?
I feel physically ill.